What's up, Cherry Blossom family? Hi guys, I am Jessi. If you are new here, it's so nice to see your faces today. It has been a bit lonely in self-quarantine, obviously right now, as most of the world is. We are indoors. This is going on day number 8. For me, I know that some of you have been at home a lot longer, but Alaska has put the hunker down order in as of Sunday, but I had been self-quarantining a little bit before that because I do have asthma, so I have been trying to be social distancing and keeping my distance away from other people. So I have not been in the public for quite a while and I am feeling it. I am an extroverted person, a very social person, so this has been a big challenge for me, but I have to tell you that I don't know if you guys are playing Animal Crossing, let me know down below, but that has been a savior for me in this whole thing. I have been so obsessed with Animal Crossing that I've missed 2 uploads for you guys, so I owe you an apology. I'm so sorry. I've been catching butterflies, fishing, expanding my house, hanging out with raccoons and lions and bunnies, and it's been amazing. I'm not gonna even lie. I've been anticipating this game for like 5 years and it's finally here and it did not disappoint and it's completely taken over my life and I am super into it. So I am so sorry, but I'm here to say that we are now going to have a self-vlogging party. I'm gonna be amping up all of my uploads over the next few weeks while we're all in self-quarantine. We actually have a really special announcement. Enchanted Rita, Game Boys, and Oh My God Jessica and myself are gonna be doing a shelter-in party on a Saturday on the channel, so be sure to mark your calendars. It's gonna be at 8 p.m. Walt Disney World time this upcoming Saturday, March 28th, 2020. So be on the lookout for that. Now, for the kind of unfortunate news that I'm gonna break to you guys, I guess it's not terrible. Here's the thing, is that the world is in a weird place. We're all in this crazy situation together. And unfortunately, I had to cancel a Disneyland trip. So originally this week, I was going to announce to you guys that I was going to Disneyland for a long weekend in April. But obviously things have escalated very quickly in the United States and things have changed. So I thought it would kind of be fun to just tell you what all of our plans were so we can both kind of escape to Disneyland, talk about what we were gonna do, the plans that we had made, some of the outfits we were gonna wear, because I thought it would be kind of fun to go over what we had planned. So this is kind of like a anti-trip announcement or a trip denouncement. I've never done this before, so we're gonna call it whatever we want to call it. But I wanted to share with you our itinerary for this entire trip because it unfortunately was planned to a T, not surprisingly since I love planning Disney trips, but we decided to cancel our trip. Our trip was supposed to be through April 16th through the 21st of this upcoming month. Now, the reason why we canceled, there's several reasons. I have asthma. I was gonna be meeting both Rita from Enchanted Rita and also Jessica from Oh My God Jessica. And we just all collectively just felt like it just wasn't, even if they were open, it just doesn't seem safe and it doesn't seem like it's worth the risk at this point. And also Alaska Airlines and Alaska in general has suggested that anyone coming from outside of the state self-quarantine for 2 weeks after they get back from the trip. And if that's the case, I can't take off that much time from work, and with all the uncertainty, it just didn't seem like the right thing to do. And I know a lot of you have experienced this too. If you had to cancel a trip let me know down below. I was supposed to arrive in Disneyland on April 16th, which happens to be a Thursday. And I was gonna be arriving on Alaska Airlines at the Santa Ana Airport, which by the way, is my most favorite airport. I hate LAX. If you can avoid LAX, do it at all costs. Santa Ana Airport is super tiny and super conveniently located close to the parks. I would highly suggest flying into there if you're going to Disneyland. So once I got to Santa Ana, I was planning on picking up my bags, and then I was going to Uber over to my hotel, which is my brand new most favorite value resort, like neighborhood hotel really, from Disneyland. Disneyland has like 4 Disney hotels, and then they have like neighborhood hotels, and some of them are extremely expensive, up to like $300, $400 a night, and some of them are much cheaper. Now, if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you know that I like a good value resort, and the reason why is because I am in the parks as much as possible. I very rarely go and stay inside of the hotel just to hang out or to do nothing. So in October of last year, my husband and I went to Disneyland for a trip, and we stayed at the Candy Cane Inn, and I am obsessed with this hotel. This hotel is now going to be our main place that we are going to stay every time we go to Disneyland. It is inexpensive. It's super close to the parks. We're talking like a 7 to 10 minute walk. They also have a free shuttle service that's not the ART, which is the Anaheim Transportation buses. It's got its own little bus, so if you're tired at the end of the night, they take you back. It has the most spacious and clean hotel rooms in the Anaheim neighborhood hotels. I mean, I've stayed at probably 5 or 6 of them, and Candy Cane is like #1. I was told, I don't know by who, that Candy Cane was really ghetto, and that's what I was expecting, because the hotels there can be a little bit sketchy. No offense, Disneyland, but those neighborhood hotels can be sketch. This was, I just can't rave enough about it. But one thing I want to say is they have a concierge level, which is basically an upper level of their hotel, and they bring you continental breakfast to your room. So you get a menu every night, you get to select all the things that you want, and then it shows up in a basket outside of your room. I'm like, this place, I'm obsessed with it. Anyway, enough about Candy Cane Inn. That's where I would be staying for this few days. So I would obviously do a little zhuzh, little freshening up, and then I would have to head in to Disneyland. So something to know is that I am an annual pass holder at Disneyland. I have their gold pass. No, I have their Flex Passport, which basically doesn't allow park hopping, and you do have to like reserve days to go into the parks. I would be going to Disneyland the first night because I feel that when you go to the parks, like the first thing that you need to like set your Disney trip up is to see the castle. Regardless of if you're in Disney World, Disneyland, Paris, Tokyo, I don't care. I just feel like seeing the castle and being in front of it just really sets the mood for the whole trip. And I don't have a tradition when I go to Disneyland like I do at Disney World. Every time we go to Disney World, the first night, no matter what, is happily ever after. You guys will have to let me know down below, what is your tradition that you do when you go on a Disney trip? I probably should establish one for Disneyland since I've been going to Disneyland so often. But my thought on this is that I would go into Disneyland, obviously, go and see the beautiful castle that's been repainted into a beautiful pink and blue. And then I would go and ride the Pirates ride. And I would probably stop at the corn dog stand to get a corn dog. But the Pirates ride at Disneyland, it just really is top notch. So we would go and we would ride the Pirates ride. And then we would just kind of camp out outside of the Pirates ride because I would want to see Fantasmic. Now, if you haven't seen Fantasmic in Disneyland, you're missing out. And they have a Pirates section of Fantasmic that is just out of this world. So if you haven't seen it in Disneyland, that is something that I would highly suggest seeing. Now, after Fantasmic, I think I wander over to go on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride because I love me some Mr. Toad. Oh my gosh, and he's on my shirt. He's here somewhere. There he is. He's on my shoulder. I am a big Mr. Toad fan. I think the ride is super silly and super hilarious. And so obviously on the first night, I would have to go and check that out. Now, after this, we would have to call it a night. It's probably really late by that point, so I'd walk home. I generally don't mind walking to and from any of the hotels. It doesn't bother me at all. I'm a walker. I walk a lot. I'm a very active person. So I would say if you're not used to walking or it's not your favorite or your feet get tired, I would definitely take that transportation back just because it does save you some steps. And there's nothing wrong with that on a Disney trip because I feel like you're walking so much in the park that just a few steps back home, it's like, it's worth it to save your feet if your feet are hurting. Let's go on to the next day. So, even saying this itinerary makes me a little bit sad. So Jessica from OM God Jessica, who I am very, very close with, her wedding is in September of this year. And this trip was basically to celebrate that and to spend some time together. We haven't seen each other since August of last year. And we have been planning this trip for, well, since before then. So it's a little bit disappointing. And this is also right after her birthday as well. So this was her birthday trip and our like bachelorette celebration for her. And it's just, you know, it's a little disappointing, especially for her. I mean, not for me because I know that I'll be able to go to Disneyland more. I just think that it's just this time in her life where she's getting married and I feel like she's being robbed of some celebrations that she could have, and it just hurts my heart a little bit. So Friday, she was going to arrive at the Candy Cane Inn, obviously my most favorite hotel, around like 10 a.m. So she actually has family in California. So she was planning on staying in California from a few days before our trip to several days after our trip. So her aunt and uncle were going to drop her off at the hotel to spend 4 days with me. And so we would hang out. We would probably have some, I don't know, maybe some cheese blocks or some donut holes from the concierge breakfast that they're going to put at my doorstep. Dude, this breakfast, I'm telling you, I love it. And we would head over to DCA. That's what we were gonna do that day. And the cardinal rule when you go to DCA or when I go to DCA is you immediately make a beeline to Cars Land and you get into the single rider ride queue for Radiator Springs Racers. You have not started your DCA day unless you get on single rider at Radiator Springs. This ride is like no other. I've talked about it several times on my channel. It's so homesick for DCA. I think it's because there's just nothing else like DCA. And nothing else like Cars Land, that's for sure. And so we would go and we would ride a single rider. And then after that, we would probably head over to Pixar Pier because we were gonna have lunch at the Lamplight Lounge. Now, Rita was going to be meeting us at some point during this day. So let's just assume that Rita from Enchanted Rita is also with us. So the three of us, we're gonna have lunch at Lamplight Lounge. Now, where would you have lunch at DCA if you were to choose to have lunch there? I particularly love the steak sushi from Lamplight Lounge, and I also really, really love all of their specialty non-alcoholic beverages. They've got delicious, like, I think there's a peach tea. The Buzz Lightyear drink is super fun. It's got dry ice in it and it bubbles and there's boba in it. It is wild. I would definitely suggest checking out Lamplight Lounge. And specifically, if you're there and you don't have a reservation, checking out Lamplight Lounge's bar, especially during lunchtime, it's pretty flexible if you're on the off season to get in for lunch at the bar area. So it's definitely a very, very good lunch spot. And you also get a really good view of Incredicoaster, and you also get a really good view of Mickey's Fun Wheel as well. which I think is called something different. Anyway. And then we would just kind of mosey around, head over to go and check out all of the Pixar area. Jess is a huge Pixar fan, and so we would probably go and play some games. I really, really want to win the Wally and Eve from the Wally and Eve game that is over at the carnival games that are now at Pixar Pier. And then we would like mosey, make our way around, maybe ride Incredicoaster. Definitely want to ride Little Mermaid. We would definitely need to ride that. Rita, that was her ride when she worked at Disney or at DCA. She used to work at the Little Mermaid ride. So it's a little bit special ride for her. Ride it for, well, it's my favorite movie of all time, and also Daddy, right? gotta visit Daddy every now and again. And then I think to end that night, we were planning on seeing World of Color if it was going to be playing. So spend that Friday night watching World of Color, and then obviously going and doing all other things that DCA has to offer, and probably go to Soarin'. Definitely going to Soarin'. Now, this next day, okay, this next day is April 18th. It's a Saturday, and it happens to be Spring Dapper Day. Oh, my heart. I interrupt this video because I realized that I did not explain what Dapper Day is. So what Dapper Day is it is where Disney fans that attend this day dress as though they were going to the parks on opening day in 1955. And it's turned into kind of like this cult Disney, I would say like club, or maybe like, I feel like it's pretty exclusive, I guess is how I would describe it. But everyone dresses up, and also generally Disney bounds, or most people Disney bound. It's a really fun day, and it's the first time that I would have been able to go and be at Dapper Day in Disneyland, which is Walt's Park, where this day originated. So, since we're not going, I'm gonna tell you all of our amazing Dapper Day outfits that we had planned. So, this day we would be in Disneyland, and since it's spring, we were like, what can we do that's a group of us? So it would be Rita, her husband Robert, Jessica, and myself. So there's 4 of us. So we kind of brainstormed, and we came up with the idea of Bambi themed. So Jessica was going to be Miss Bunny. Rita was going to be Thumper, because Thumper is her favorite character, so she obviously needed to be Thumper. And Robert would be Bambi, and then I chose to be Flower. And actually I have a beautiful black velvet wrap dress. I got the Flower shoes from Irregular Choice to wear that day. I had planned a really fun mohawk, because Flower has that mohawk in his hair, and I had figured out a way that I could use combs to kind of bring it back and make like a curl faux hawk. All of the plans. Oh, I just wish that these could come to life. So if you're interested in seeing that Dapper Day outfit, I was considering maybe just doing a little photo shoot with it, just for fun, maybe for Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, go and check me out. But I was thinking about doing that. Let me know if you would like me to use that outfit specifically, because I don't know when I'm going to be able to go to Dapper Day again. It's okay. Everything's okay. I just feel a little sad about that. So obviously we would just spend the day all dressed up, doing all of the fun things. Now Dapper Day, a cast member once said to me when I went to Dapper Day in Orlando, she goes, "Oh, we call this Picture Day." And I was like, yes, that's exactly what it is. You're like walking around, and at every moment people are posing with something or doing something, or you know, whatever. But what I love about Dapper Day is everyone says, have a Dapper Day. happy Dapper Day. So there's like a little bit of like code for all these people that are in their Dapper outfits that just makes my heart sing. So, yep. I did not have anything specific that we were supposed to do that day outside of get several pictures of all of us together. There wasn't really anything like specifically on the list. Please let me know down below what you would wear to the Disneyland Dapper Day. Like, who would you bound as, or do you have an idea of what outfit you would wear? I would love to know. Now, let's move on to Sunday. So Sunday happens to be DCA's Dapper Day. So we thought we wanted to do a theme of Pixar, right? I mean, a DCA is so Pixar centric anymore. And so that was our idea. And because we all love Cars Land so much, fun fact, Rita actually worked Radiator Springs Racers as well. So we decided we were gonna go ahead and do Cars. So Jessica was gonna go as Lightning McQueen. Rita was gonna go as Flo from Flo's V8 Cafe. And I was gonna go as Mater. Now, I know what you're thinking. You guys are like, what? I am telling you, I have dreamed of being and going to Dapper Day as Mater for a long, like too long, guys, too long. So I also have a ridiculous brown pantsuit. I have a little brown cardigan. I have a little green neckerchief. I mean, this was gonna be, it was gonna be epic. I don't think that Rita and I had discussed if Robert was going to be there or if Robert was gonna wear something. Rita, let me know down below. I don't recall if Robert was gonna be dressed up. There was also some talk Jessica was going between Lightning McQueen and also Fillmore, which Fillmore would have been an adorable bound as well because he's the VW bus in like that really pretty teal color, and that would have been such a fun like 1970s style bound. Again, let me know if you want me to wear these outfits and maybe put them on Instagram, maybe make a video out of them. Actually, now that we're thinking about it, maybe I can release it on the day that Dapper Day would be or is. I don't know if they're gonna open the parks by then, but maybe I'll do that. Let me know what you guys think down below, and also let me know who or what you would bound as for the Pixar bound for DCA. And again, there wasn't any plans for us. We were just going to enjoy all of the things, take all of the pictures. Dapper Day is really a little bit uncomfortable just because you're in like a specific outfit and you're trying to take pictures and you're generally wearing uncomfortable shoes. And so it's kind of a day just to kind of take it easy and enjoy the parks, and then maybe go back to the hotel and change later on. It just kind of depends on how you're feeling or how uncomfortable your outfit is. So that was our plan for Sunday. Moving on to Monday. So Monday we were planning on being in Disneyland. That would be the 21st, I believe. 20th. So on the 20th, we were planning on going into Disneyland and doing all of the rides that none of us have done before, or if one person had done it and the others hadn't. So we could all have say that we've ridden every single ride in Disneyland. So some of the rides specifically that I wanted to do that I've never done before is Tomorrowland Speedway. I don't think it's called that. I think it's called Autopia. Oh shoot. Sorry, sometimes I get the names confused between the parks. But anyway, it's a little car ride where you drive a little car in a circle or around a track. So that, and then I have never done the storybook boats before, and that one is a big one for me. I really, really wanted to go onto that ride. And I believe that Jess has never been on the ride that is the submarines that are Finding Nemo. I actually think that ride's pretty cute. I've been on that ride before. So we definitely were gonna do those three. And then we were gonna hit up our favorites. Rita's favorite is Big Thunder Mountain, so we definitely would have gone on Big Thunder. I love the Tiki Room, especially the Tiki Room in Disneyland, just because it's Walt's Tiki Room. And I also love the Winnie the Pooh ride, which I figured that both Jess and Rita, being big Winnie the Pooh fans, obviously they aren't gonna mind either. It is so much more vibrant and such a better dark ride in Disneyland. And we would have definitely closed the parks that night. If fireworks were going on, we would watch fireworks. I don't think they run fireworks on Mondays now that I'm thinking about it. But you'll have to let me know down below if you had a day in Disneyland, what rides you would ride. Or is there any rides at Disneyland you haven't ridden or feel that are underrated? Because I've heard from several people that the Storybook Boats is a really underrated ride, and I'm really excited to ride it actually. So the next morning I would have to be back at the airport by like 10 a.m. So Jess would have woken up early, her family would have come and pick her up. I probably would have said goodbye to Rita the night before, and then I would have been going home on the 21st, which is a Tuesday, and I would have got back like mid-evening. So it wasn't a very long trip, but it would have been amazing to get to go and spend time with all of my Disney friends. We were planning on vlogging the entire trip so we could share it with you guys, but it is what it is. I would love to know what you guys would like to do at Disneyland. Leave all of the information down below. Let's chat about Disneyland. I have been missing it lately. It has been weighing on my heart a little bit that this trip has been canceled. So I'd love to chat with you guys down in the comments below about everything. Let me know if you want me to create that Dapper Day video. I can tell you kind of the plans of my outfits and why I chose what I chose. And yeah, that's gonna do it for me, guys. Be sure to go and check out our live video, which is tomorrow. And it was so much fun hanging out with you guys. I missed you. I'm so sorry that Animal Crossing took over my life for a week. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, please be sure to subscribe down below for lots of fun Disney content. And I will see you guys in the next video. TTFN. Bye! Stay safe. I love you.